This video is an extract from an interview where an art professional shares their top tips for artists. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoy this video. Welcome to this webinar with Lucy, our special guest. So Lucy has an extensive career in the visual arts. Lucy also founded her own business, Pocket Creatives, in 2012, and she organized lots of pop-up galleries and exhibitions and cultural events around London. Okay, one of the topics that we wanted to talk about is funding, because that's a big part of your job. So, can we get started with the big picture as to what are the various roles that you have to do with funding?
So I've worn various hats in the funding world. As a local authority arts officer, we running projects with the public council money, our own kind of annual budget, but we were then also applying for Arts Council and Heritage Lottery funding to supplement that and just increase pots for different projects. And then I've been on the other end of it, as in being the funder with my developer hat on. I suppose across all of those elements, the main thing that would stand out for me is having a focus, keeping it simple and keeping it clear. When you're applying to funding and applying for anything, they want to know you read the brief and how you answer that brief, and just making it very clear and succinct. It's easy when you're in a project or you have a creative practice to want to say everything about it and talk a lot about the ideas and the philosophy behind it. So if you think of it from a funder or a sponsor's point of view, time is precious. They've got loads to get through. It's tiring reading loads of complicated sentences. So keeping things succinct and simple and on point so that it's easy to see the benefits or who you're working with, who your audience is. Yeah, that would be my main tip on that, is read the brief and keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes a lot of sense. And
it,
the more it's aligned with the brief and the more you're making it clear, sometimes it can be tempting to put everything in there. But honestly, if you just show the people that if you've read the brief, Lucy, aren't you already better than 50% of the other applications?
yes, definitely. The other thing I'd say that's really big in kind of public art or creative community building recently is that kind of outreach element. So in whatever medium you work with, if you do have experience of running workshops or helping others, so that's the thing, showing how your art or your practice either includes others but also can benefit others. So whether that's people can participate or they get something out of it. It's a meditative thing they're looking at, that kind of health, creative well-being, obviously very topical at the moment, but really thinking of it as an inclusive project in whatever sense. I think getting that sense over often really helps. Whether it's Arts Council or a sponsor, people are going to want numbers and like, how is it benefiting? Like, how is that money being used to reach the maximum number of people? So they don't always have to be big numbers, but just being aware, or that you even will just count the numbers, as in you have that in mind. Because with any kind of funding, you will be asked to report back, say how it went, how people found it, what they got out of it. So making it clear in your proposal that you've already got that in mind will also really help.
It's really useful to think about the funder's point of view. And by that, all that we mean is being really, really practical about how this particular project would go on to serve a goal.
Yeah, well, and just that word practical as well. The creative element is obviously huge, but just things like realistic timelines and budgets and just an awareness of the logistics, just that you've taken into kind of consideration the bigger picture and not just the creative element.
And when you were saying the benefit to audiences, again, it will vary depending on the particular funder or the open call or what have you, but it doesn't necessarily need to be huge groups of people. It could be that you say, I'm going to do 5 workshops for 10 people, and being clear about who those people are. Then when you're really specific, it helps the person reading on the other side really project themselves into what your thing is going to look like, whatever your thing is.
And it doesn't always have to transpire exactly like that, as in you're not going to get penalized if you can't do exactly what you said you were going to do, but it's always better to have some metrics around your project. What else? Something quite important. Not worry so much around your training. Perhaps some of the artists on here haven't been to art school and got a ream of experience and things like that, but any kind of lived experience and how you relate to your audience or the kind of message you want to put across is really important as well. So I think it's, yeah, don't worry about the lack of professional experience. It's more just conveying how you relate to others.
Yeah, I love that. That's really good. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch the full 1 hour interview and get top tips from an expert, then click the link below and join the Art Ladder mentoring program now. By joining the Art Ladder, you will get access to our full library of webinars with curators, collectors, critics, gallerists, and more. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this, and check out the description below for more free resources for artists.